New year, new me, as they say. I mean, not quite. I've stood up and I put some fairy lights on the paintings. Not much difference. But I feel like some topics I get so animated about, my legs want to join in. You know, do a little samba underneath. You can't tell, but I'm dancing right now. I'm dancing with anticipation. With danceipation. And danceipation. I am excited to talk about this topic, okay? When it comes to texting, you'd think British American people, they use the same language. There's not going to be much of a difference. Maybe a spare cheeky here or a hoagie there. No. There's no British versus American video on texting because the British have already won. The Americans, they took the T, you know, they put it in the harbor. The British, though, they took the X. And X marks the spot, okay? You text a girl on X, she's gonna be like playing an X xylophone with your backbones. Doesn't really sound that delightful now that I'm thinking about it, but if you're into that, great, right? It's such a tiny thing that just makes texting so much easier in the UK that you can't really do in America. Why am I talking about this? Because you get to feel the water, right? You get to put your hands in, feel around that water. How's that water doing? Is there an X in here? You know, you like a person, you like a girl, you like a boy, you just throw a little cheeky X, a little X at the end of the text. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you like them. I could just, you know, find someone like, oh, I really like this person, I just want to give them a little kiss, a little X. Doesn't mean anything. Until you get that double X, right? You throw them in with a double X, dos equis. Think about it, yo, this is the most interesting man in the world, and he's texting you right now. You get that double X in return. Boom, you're in business. That doesn't exist in the US. People in the US are like, what is he talking about? I don't even know. With the X, with the double X, with the, dare I say, triple X. Never gotten that far yet, okay? I'm still keeping it PG for you guys, but when it comes to these X's, you can really tell if you're hot or cold with someone. Speaking of hot and cold, this house is freaking terrible. You'd think, right? I live on the 4th floor of a flat. However, I have single glazed windows. So you'd think those even out. Heat from everyone else rises up, and then, you know, maybe I lose that heat out the window. No, all of it loses out the window. If you don't know what single glazed is, it's when you got one pane. And it is a pain in the neck. You know, you usually got two, you got some air in the middle, air's a good insulator. It's terrible. It's freezing. It's freezing in my room, and that's why I've been wearing all these jackets and videos. You might be thinking, Evan, haven't you been wearing those just to show off? Your great bomber jacket collection? Yes. Also, it's cold. But I put the heating on, right? I'll put the heating on for like a good 10 minutes, and then I'm living in a sweltering heat, and I have to turn it off, and I can't go to sleep because I'm like, oh, it's so hot. And then I turn it off, and then I'm like, oh, cool, I'm back in an Eskimo day. Cool, great. And it's not just my room, it's not just the house, it's also the shower. I have so many issues with heat. Basically, I have to pretend I'm like a freaking bomb technician. I'm like, okay, 0.1 degrees with the heat, and then it's just so hot. Oh God, and you turn it off, right? You turn the heat completely off. It takes a minute until it gets cold again. It's still like, oh cool, I'm burning in the pits of hell. And then no, now we're back to cold. Now I have ice bucket challenge happening right now. Turn the heat back up a little tiny bit, and then burning. It's really fun. Essentially, I like to burn my flesh off and then freeze it back on, like, over and over. That's how I shower in this house. And, yeah, as you can tell, I'm just a bit of complaining today. I mean, one of my New Year's resolutions was to stop complaining so much. So I'm really doing that really, really well. I mean, one of my resolutions is working out. Literally, it was working out. Boom! Okay, coming with the wordplay. I've been working out pretty regularly. It's been doing well. I can run a lot more than I used to be able to. Used to not be able to do a minute. Now I can do, like, 2 sessions of 10 minutes each. That's good. I've been lifting weights. I kind of skipped leg day a lot by accident. I thought running was leg day. Turns out, no. I'm gonna look like a big old Beyblade soon. Just me and the big musks and the no musks on the legs. Why am I saying musks? Because I got that human musk. Another resolution that I came up with this year was German, to go really, really hard with the German. If you remember last year, one of my resolutions was to study German every day on Duolingo. Did I do it? Yes, actually I did. But now that I've done it for an entire year, I'm like, I want to become fluent. I really want to make this my thing. I'm going to go really hard. So if you're a German viewer of mine and you follow me on Twitter, #plug, please only tweet me in German. I know you're trying to improve your English, but your English is great, okay? You know it's great. Stop bragging to everyone and your friends like, look at me, I can speak English. Good for you. I would like you to please speak in German. I'll translate it in my head, force me to get into it. I've turned my phone German. I didn't know this turns every one of my apps German, so now I'm like, retweet it. What? But, it's helping me learn, all the types of German that I'm going to have to use as a social media guy. I'm more than halfway done my Duolingo tree on German, and I'm using other apps. I'm hoping to start reading Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone soon. Maybe The Hobbit, Der Hobbit. Dare I say, The Hobbit? Which would be really exciting, because I'm, reading one of my favorite books in the world in a different language, and I'm able to understand it. I mean, I'm able to watch, some YouTube videos now of people speaking German, and without translating in my head, I know what they're saying. And it's such a euphoric feeling like that I've never had before that just makes me feel so happy, and that's why I want to keep going with it. I want to have this as another language. Secondary, I mean, I do want Spanish eventually. I'd like to speak more than one language. A lot of you, I mean, if you're younger, if you're from Europe, you're like, oh yeah, I had to learn like 8 languages when I was 8. They say a year language? What? I mean, I know, people from Switzerland are like, we got French, we got Italian, we got German, we got everything, we got English, we got, okay, I get it, okay, Austrian. You're Austrian too hard, okay? I'm American. I had to learn English and then American English. And those are the same thing for us. And then maybe some Spanish. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna be good at German, I'm gonna spend a lot of time on it, and I'm gonna become fluent by hopefully the end of next year. I'd love to make videos on like maybe a German channel. Evan Ed German. That pun, you were waiting for it. You've been waiting for it your whole life, okay? Did it land? Did it Deutschland? What am I on? Speaking of land, La La Land. I saw La La Land the other day and oh my god, it is the worst film I've ever seen. If it was also the only film I'd ever seen, which would consequentially mean it was also the best film I've ever seen. It's really, really, really good. It's just a really, really good film. And I hate hype. I hate hype so much. When I go into a film, I don't watch a trailer beforehand. So many films nowadays are like, here's the 4th trailer. Is there anything left to my imagination? I know what the movie is. I mean, good. When I went to La La Land, all I know is it's got Ryan Gosling, it's got Emma Stone, and like some weird dance. I don't know what's going on there. Oh my god, it's so good. I mean, obviously, like the whole time I'm watching it, right, I just imagined this like Dodie sitting next to me like, he's gonna love it. Now, I didn't make it to Dodie's premiere of La La Land the other day because, 1, I was kind of stuck in a different country, and 2, I don't want to watch a film where there's so many expectations that I enjoy it. I feel like at that point, I'm going to not enjoy it. I'm one of those really annoying people that's like when you say, oh, you should really listen to this band, it's so great. I'll go, yeah, it's all right, mate, it's all right. Like, if too many people tell me I'll like something, I then resent it. It's a bad thing. It's a personality trait that I've worked on, and when I saw La La Land, I definitely had a lot of hype going around it, but as soon as the movie started, I turned that all off and I went, here's a film, I'm just gonna watch this film. And it was so good. It was so good that like, not even towards the sad part, there's gonna be no spoilers in this video, but I feel like towards like the last half hour of the film, I felt like my insides were like being made into a smoothie. It was just the flow of the music. It was like I was sitting on an inner tube just floating through a river and I was just going along for the ride. And wherever the movie took me, that's where I was going. The music was good, was there, the dialogue was great, the acting was amazing, and I felt so much emotion. And then when it got to the end and the credits came up and I was shaking. I was actually shaking. I was so satisfied. It was as if I had gotten a chance to drink this emotional slushy that had become my insides. And I was with a girl at the time and she was like, did you like it? And I was like, I didn't want to cry. I genuinely wanted to cry. I had all these emotions that I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, if Dodie's gonna cry, I've got masculinity to worry about, you know, man, gentlemen? You know, when you're trying to not express your feel. No, I mean, I personally, I don't cry often, but the film just made me so emotional that I really wanted to. And I didn't at that time, but I really want to watch it again so that I can fully express it. When I first walked out of the theater, I just tried not to think about what I just watched because I didn't want to just weep in front of this person I just met that day. That would have not necessarily been the best impression. I have this issue where instead of like, you know, expressing myself, I sometimes jar up my emotions. I say jarring because bottling has negative connotation, and plus jars are pretty tight, right? Nothing's coming out of that jar. But I do want to go back, watch La La Land, open the jar, just let myself openly weep. I don't know if I'm going to see that alone, or if I need to like bring someone else with me that I'm comfortable crying with. But if you haven't seen it yet, try going with like a clear mind. I highly enjoyed it, and this has been quite a hodgepodge video, wouldn't you say? This is like old school YouTube, bringing it. I just wanted to make a video about things that I have on my mind today. What do you think? You like? Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I mean, give me a thumb, give me a sub, give me whatever. I mean, if you have a sub, I'm really hungry. I could use at least 8. Oh my god. Anyway, this has been an interesting video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys next Sunday. See you later. Bye.